Please welcome to the stage Mr. Tony Geagea from Ethan Group, our major sponsor.
Good evening, Tracy, honourable guests and ladies and gentlemen.
Now, Ethan Group is Australia's largest privately owned technology service provider. It's been established since 2002, which in comparison to other industries is many lifetimes for an IT and communications company. How has Ethan Group kept up?
The pace of change throughout the world for business has never been as rapid as it is today. And 75 years was the number of average years that a business existed on the Fortune 500 back in the 50s. And today, it's 15 years. 10 of the top performing businesses in the world are technology-based companies. And the statistic just doesn't go away. It gets worse and worse as time goes on in terms of the challenge for businesses to innovate. And a lot of that innovation is driven through businesses being forced to change. Those that are capable of changing businesses usually exist within the business. If there's one thing that I could summarise Ethan as being, it's an organisation that creates innovation time. It gives time back to organisations, our customers particularly, so they can innovate. Those best fit to innovate are those within your business. But unfortunately, they're too busy keeping the lights on and operating the organisation with no time to change. So Ethan's been quite successful in working with our customers to provide them with a guaranteed service level and an arrangement which makes sense for them so that we can free up that innovation time and the most critical people within their organisation. Things like email, things like storage, backup, things like your network and your communications, who cares? They don't differentiate you. What differentiates organisations is the innovation and focusing on modernising the business itself to stay relevant. And that's how we've kept up.
That's very wise. So what advice would you give to our finalists tonight?
Having watched some of the stories and listened to some of the stories, I think I should be taking some of the advice. But if there's one thing on an innovation and technology front, is if you look at some of the best businesses in the world and you peel them right back, you tend to find that they started later in the game. Other businesses existed that did exactly the same thing, but they just did what they did really well. And they focused on that supply chain to ensure that they always existed. I've got many examples and I'm sure many ring a bell. So I guess the point of the story is if you focus, you'll succeed and you'll obviously evolve and survive in this changing world. And that's probably the only piece of advice that I can give within this time frame.
Yeah, finding your unique offering.
That's right.
Now, you've been a major sponsor of the Ethnic Business Awards for 4 years now. What strategic value do the awards offer an organisation like Ethan Group?
The awards themselves aren't just awards for the Ethan Group, and it's much more than just a major sponsorship for us. I think what the awards resemble and what they stand for are the fabric of Ethan Group, or what we'd like to think of Ethan Group. It's the hard work that goes into these organisations to make them successful. It's the sacrifices, it's the commitment, it's all those values and ethics that we'd like to live by and stand by as an organisation to give our customers the very best chance of success. So the awards themselves represent our values, and that's why we're so grateful that we are part of it. Joseph and Angela and the team at the EBA, thank you for having us as a major sponsor. It's a privilege, it's an honour, and we look forward to many more years of great success and many more years of being part of these awards. Thank you.
Now, you mentioned hard work and commitment, but there's also work-life balance, because the Ethnic Business Awards is a family, of course. How do you manage that aspect?
I would have no work-life balance if it wasn't for my wife, Geagea. She's been my support. She's the credit behind lots of my success, and I think thank you, Geagea, for being there and for supporting the family and supporting me so I can support the business. My work life comes from my partner of life.
Thank you so much to you and to Ethan Group for your tremendous support of the Ethnic Business Awards.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Tracy.
much.
Cheers.